And I love animals. I think they're wonderful and they should be treated well. So I went vegan for a little while.
Oh, it's a narrative here. It's a narrative. Hey everyone,
welcome back to the channel. Today we're responding to a video that was much requested.
It's on a channel by the name of HiHo Kids that has 1.7 million subscribers.
This is a
disturbing and dangerous video. Kids meet a butcher.
So this butcher, her name is Christina.
Christina's website is linked in the description. It's Butchery 101.
And she runs butchery classes. She teaches people how to chop up the murdered bodies of animals. And I couldn't help but notice that she also has gift cards coming soon.
Very sadistic gift cards, might we add. This appears to be the severed head of a once living pig.
Would you like to receive a gift card with a dead head on it?
Again, a murdered pig.
That's right, they're not dead, they're murdered.
Yeah, these animals don't die of natural causes.
No. On her Instagram, you'll see that she's just kind of laying around, casual, smiling with a corpse. This is somebody's murdered body. This was once a living, breathing, feeling, sentient being who has
a face,
emotions.
A family, a mother, a father, perhaps brothers and sisters, who had a desire to live, to seek pleasure, to avoid pain, who feels pain just like us, feels love just like us.
You know, they are totally aware, and so throughout her Instagram you will see all kinds of quite sadistic images of pigs' heads, you know, when she's just posing and happy little captions. And I mean, this is a head, this is a severed head, and this is part of her classes. So she's teaching people. And look, you know, in Western culture, we're very much used to the idea that pigs are a food animal. Now, all we have to do to really make ourselves kind of question, is this a normal thing, and how do we really feel about that in our heart, is replace the animal. Instead of a pig, let's replace the animal with a dog. That's all we have to do. Now, our reaction, most people's reaction, is going to be, whoa, that's not okay. I have a family, you know, dog at home. The kids grow up with this companion animal that we love, that we can see has emotions, that is part of us, that feels.
And the difference here is simply what we've been taught to believe is normal. So in the West, we've been taught to believe that eating pigs is normal and necessary in some cases, and eating dogs is not normal, whereas it is in other cultures. So you can see how we're arbitrarily choosing which species we want to subject and which ones we want to favour based on something as arbitrary as culture.
It's incredible. So I need to pick out a few of these posts here.
Look at these happy pigs at Hidden River Farms. I'm so excited for the opportunity to butcher one of their happy hogs this Saturday for the sold out Butchery 102 class.
So
excited for the opportunity to butcher.
Well, again, let's replace the word pigs for dogs and reread that. Look at these happy dogs.
At Hidden River Farms. I'm so excited for the opportunity to butcher one of their happy dogs this Saturday.
See the difference? When we simply replace the animal, we realise that this is not okay.
And now the piglets.
And now the puppies.
From my visit to Bittersweet Family Farm yesterday, Heather takes great care of these little dudes, ensuring them happy, healthy, piggy lives. So stoked to feature one of their beautiful pigs this Saturday in the sold-out Butchery 101.
Now the language, you're not featuring, these piglets will be slaughtered. They will have their throats slit, they will bleed out, and then you come in and you cut up their corpse in front of an audience.
And slaughter is just a word that we as humans have reserved for the murdering of animals, and we've reserved the word murder for human beings, and yet the action is the same. We are taking the life of a sentient being who doesn't want to die against their will.
Today I met the pig/dog
for this Saturday's class. Visited the lovely Bittersweet Farm in Stanwood. All the animals have names and are loved.
So that means if we go into someone's home, the puppies, the dogs are named and loved. Therefore, it's okay to slit their throat and chop up their body and teach other people how to chop up dogs' bodies.
Yeah, in fact, in the Yulin Dog Festival in China, aren't a lot of the dogs stolen from the homes of families who love the dogs and who have named the dogs?
That's right.
So I guess that makes it fine then, because they were loved and named and happy dogs,
See how it's not okay when we replace the victim. Now this one is really twisted.
I deboned these Rosen Farm trotters, and now they're like opera gloves.
So let's just replace that image with dog's paws. How do you feel about that?
You know, she's got a little emoji of music there for the opera. It's just
And with the love
normalizing.
heart
Yeah,
eyes.
it's downplaying. It's disrespectful. It's sadistic. It's sick.
It's psychopathic.
Psychopathic,
This
yeah.
is not normal behavior. So this channel, HiHo Kids, have taken this woman, put her in a room with children to talk about her trade of cutting up murdered animal bodies. I just, wow. Really, guys, that's the best you could do for your channel.
What do you do at work all day?
I cut carcasses of animals into meat.
And yet, as a child, no one ever says, when I grow up, I want to cut carcasses of animals up for meat, do
Yeah,
they?
but this video is going to start normalizing that for these kids on this show and any kids watching. Like, it's just a normal thing to cut up dead bodies.
That's right.
I love meat. Meat is like one of my favorite foods. It's like my life. Protein.
Wow, you can see the indoctrination already. Protein, animal flesh.
Yeah, the meat industry has been pushing this myth via heavy advertising campaigns since like the 40s. That's like 80 years now, and it's still stuck today, even though we can get protein from plants.
Yes, and he said, meat is life. Well, actually, meat is not life. Meat is murder. Meat is death. It's death for the animals. It's bad for our health. It's bad for the planet. There's nothing good. There's nothing of
Nothing life promoting.
coming from this.
No.
What's your favorite animal to cut?
I really enjoy beef right now. It's like kind of cool to imagine how large this animal was when it was alive, because it's like, this animal would have been like 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? What's your favorite animal to cut, the child asks. Now, the FBI has said for many years that there's a strong correlation between children who hurt animals and serial killers who go on to kill a lot of human beings.
Yeah.
So that's
My
really
favourite
disturbing.
animal to
Yeah,
cut.
what is your favorite animal to cut?
It's just
but
so wrong on
because
all
it's been
levels.
normalized so much to do this to animals for food, we don't see that as a disturbing question that the child is asked.
That's right. And of course they're going to only put a butcher on this show. They're missing the middle step. Here's the lovely animals out in the farm.
Yes.
Here's the butcher who cuts up, the meat that we love, the protein stuff that we love to eat. Where's the middle step? Why aren't they showing the kids these animals being slaughtered?
Yeah.
They never do that.
And there's no way that if they took that child to the slaughterhouse and showed them the gore, the horror, the fear, smelled the blood, saw the animals with their eyes bulging with fear, there's no way the child would turn to the slaughterhouse worker and say, oh, what's your favourite part to cut?
But we're
It's never-
normalising violence to animals. Now, this is the crux of this video. And, ironically, just the other day, an article came out. An 11-year-old was charged with animal cruelty after allegedly throwing the family cat. So we have children being charged with animal cruelty for throwing a cat, but we have a woman on a show speaking to kids about cutting up animals, about normalising murdering animals and eating their bodies.
What a contradiction. What a glaring
Absolute
contradiction.
Insanity. How do you say to this 11-year-old, sorry, it's wrong to throw the family cat, but it's okay, it's right, it's actually interesting, and you can get paid for chopping up an animal.
Oh, in fact, it's cool.
It's needed. It's part of our culture. It's what we eat. It's someone's job to do that. I mean,
Mind-boggling,
it
isn't
is just, if that doesn't sum up the sick world that we've created, I don't know what
Yeah.
does.
Have you met a cow before?
The last time I met a cow was in my dinner.
Yeah, so
That laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can we just hear that again? Hold on.
Was in my dinner.
Oh, we've got like chills. Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, and it's true. The child said that the last time they met a cow was when they ate their dinner.
Yep.
Now, that's the problem. Children, people, we don't get to interact with the animals that we eat by and large. If we don't, most of us live in cities in the West, yeah? So it's very true what they said, and that's why the industry keeps them out of sight and out of mind, the animals, that is, because,
Yeah.
again, if slaughterhouses had glass walls...
That's right, and we're not talking about just going to the farm. And so this is what the butcher Christina does on her Instagram post that we were showing earlier. She's normalising this murder by going to the farm and saying, look, she's meeting the victim.
Yes.
She's meeting her victim before. She doesn't do the slaughtering, she does the butchering.
It's like a serial killer profiling their victims before they actually kill them. Yeah.
But paying someone else to kill them. So she's paying a hitman
Yes.
to kill them, and then she's going to have fun cutting up the murdered body. If we just replace the victim, the pig, with a dog or a human or a child or a cat, or just think, I'm just blown away. This is so sick.
How many pigs can you butcher in a day?
Yesterday, I did 3. And then like a month ago, I did 4 in one day.
How many dogs can you butcher in a day? Yesterday, I did 3, and a month ago, I did 4 in one day. I want to see this show, HiHo Kids, bring on somebody who is doing Christina's job in Yulin, in China, to dogs, for the Yulin Dog Festival, to get a better understanding that an animal is an animal, whether it's a pig or a dog or any animal, it's the same thing and it's not okay.
How many animals have you butchered?
I don't know, like a couple hundred at this point. It's been a couple years.
I can't believe that they're talking about this to kids.
If we're going to normalise the consumption of animals to children, we should also therefore show them the full process, show them, that slaughterhouse, that middle step, show them the unadulterated truth.
Because if there's nothing wrong with her butchering the murdered body, then what's wrong with the actual slaughtering, right?
I'm evil now.
So if I use that, because I do use that sometimes, am I evil?
No.
I felt like that was very strategic. They were looking at it from a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
So it basically, killing and murdering and chopping up the bodies of animals who don't want to die, is that evil? No, it's not. It's got the child's stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like one of those serial killers in the movies. I'm
There's that laugh again. The kid just said it. I feel like a serial killer. Thank you, kid.
What made you become a butcher?
I learned about what industrial meat looks like and the kind of conditions that animals will sometimes have to live under. Like, there are some pigs that have never seen daylight.
Here we go.
The happy meat myth. The happy meat myth. Because this is all the animal products industry has left, and they are hanging on to it for dear life. Because people...
For their dear life.
Yeah, for their dear life, exactly.
Not the victim's dear life.
Yeah, that's right. So they know that there's this trend of consumers moving away from their murderous products, and so they're like, no, it's okay. You can still eat the products that you enjoy. We'll just tell you that they're from happy animals, that their conditions in which they were raised were healthy and happy, and it's all good.
Until that animal's taken to the slaughterhouse to have their throats stabbed with all the other animals that are coming from all the other bad farms.
Yeah.
They're all bad farms because they all send their animals to the one place, a house of slaughter.
Yeah.
These animals are viewed as commodities. They're not individuals in the eyes of the industry. They are simply units of production, of exchange, of money.
That end up in a killing factory. All of them. The organic, the free range, the cage-free, the humane, RSPCA approved, higher welfare, antibiotic free, hormone free, all of that rubbish, they all end up in the same place, a killing factory.
And I love animals. I think they're wonderful and they should be treated well. So I went vegan for a little while.
It's a narrative here. It's a narrative. It's a scripted, strategic narrative.
Great.
Yeah.
So here what she's telling kids and the audience is, hey, you can love animals and you can butcher them too.
Oh, we got several videos on that.
Isn't that what everyone wants to hear?
We're going to link those in the description below.
And she was vegan for a while? Of course she was. We're going to slide that in, don't we, meat industry?
In fact, that reminds me of a response video we did a couple of years back about a vegan butcher. A former
It's very
vegan.
common.
Yeah,
This is what the industry does. See, we can even sway vegans back to, the side of meat because it's all good.
Yeah. We've got a video on that. You're either vegan or you're not. What she means is, if she's being truthful, is that she may have attempted a vegan diet for a period of time, but she was never vegan.
I don't trust her.
Are you still vegan or not?
No, I started eating meat again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started eating meat again. Yeah, I wasn't vegan.
It's not something you switch on and off.
What changed your mind?
I learned about local farmers and how some people will raise their animals nicely and let them be the type of animal that they want to be. And so I'm happy to work with those farmers and buy their meats and butcher that stuff.
It's not stuff. It's not stuff. They're not commodity. They're not TVs, bricks, couches, chairs. They are living beings. Again, they had faces, mothers, fathers, siblings, feelings, families, friends, communities. It's not stuff.
The thing is, these animals that are raised on these happy farms, they are so aware of the contrast between the life that they've known on the farm to the day they're taken to the slaughterhouse. We interviewed a former slaughterhouse worker on our podcast show, and he said we always knew the animals that came from free-range, organic, humane farms because they were the most scared when they came to the slaughterhouse. They weren't used to the noise, to the sounds, to the machines.
To the concrete under their feet.
They weren't used to humans treating them the way they do get treated in the slaughterhouse, and they were clearly terrified way more than those animals that came from factory farms. So it's this gross betrayal of the animals' trust from these happier farms when we take them to the house of slaughter.
Some serial killers used to wine and dine their victims before killing them. So did that justify the murder because they treated their victims nicely before they killed them? Of course not. Killing is killing. It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's needless.
Do you like to eat meat?
Sometimes I tried to be a vegetarian, but I failed.
Now, I don't know if this is scripted for the kids or...
Yeah,
did
I'm
you
very
really...
dubious because I feel like these kids are like paid actors. They've got stage mums or stage
Maybe.
parents. That's my feeling anyway.
No. Why, where does he get that idea that I tried to be vegetarian and I failed, and he said it the way he did, like, it was too hard, I'm a failure. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
Do you think you'll ever be vegetarian again?
Probably not, because meat is good.
Meat is good.
What's your favorite meat?
Mostly what matters to me is if the animal was happy and was well taken care of. That's my favorite kind of meat.
Oh, so now Christina's the Good Samaritan. Yeah. She's
Christina, it's
has
not...
the highest morals.
It's not meat
She's
when it's
altruistic.
happy. It's a sentient being. It's an animal. It's in its full form. When you chop up the flesh, that's just... I don't even know how to respond to this anymore.
It's so sadistic that it's difficult to respond to. It catches you off guard.
It really
You don't
does.
expect someone to sound so callous.
And be allowed to speak to children about this. But again, this is exactly what the industry is pushing, this humane lie. Happy meat is good meat. Happy meat is ethical meat. Happy meat is healthy meat. Happy meat is what we all should be focusing on. Let's get rid of those nasty factory farms. No one wants to be cruel to animals. Let's be kind to animals, but still eat them.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is that 98% of the animal products consumed come out of these factory farms, and yet everybody apparently is against factory farms.
Yeah.
But so who's buying the
what you mean.
98% of the animal products? People who are against factory farms. It's such an elitist idea. The only reason we can consume animal products in the quantities that we do for the number of people that are here on this planet are because of the factory farming intensive industrial farming model. Without it, you can't feed the whole world on local, organic, free-range, pasture-raised, blah, blah, blah.
No.
But how would it be a difference if the pig was unhappy? Because I always thought that was a emotion, not like a meat.
The emotions of the animal are often based on the living environment that they're in. If it's in like a scary, like stressed out environment, their body creates chemicals that change like the flavor of the meat and the texture of the meat, and so you can taste that.
Oh, what?
So first of all, I highly doubt that kid came up with that question on his own. I highly doubt it. I mean, I know kids can come up with some really, interesting stuff sometimes, but for me, I don't know.
You don't buy it.
Now her response, okay, well, what do you think the animals are feeling when they're bolt gunned in the head or electrically stunned and then have their throat slit, Christina? What do you think they're feeling in the moment when they enter the slaughterhouse and they can smell the blood, they can sense the fear, they can see other animals, their friends being murdered in front of them or before them? What do you think they're feeling? Fear, anxiety. They are not happy in that moment. That's what you're eating. You just admitted.
What's the most craziest part of meat you ever eaten?
I've had calves' brains before.
I've had puppy's brains before.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You're eating the brains of a baby. How is she allowed to talk to kids? I just...
So this is called caul fat. It's a lining on the inside of the body cavity.
This reminds me of when Miranda sings.
Yeah.
She was playing with minced meat, wasn't it? And kind of like making it out to be like Play-Doh. And
She was making
with a child and
She was forming cow-like shapes of animals out of the mincemeat.
yeah.
In fact. Yeah.
So it's
Just-
again normalizing the consumption of animal products and the killing of them
And
or what have you,
trivializing.
it by turning them into sort of toys for kids to play with. It's really sadistic.
It's like gross and really cool at the same time. It's like I'm touching someone's like guts or something. It's gross.
It's fun to touch.
Imagine it came from a dog, and we told the kids to touch this and play with this.
Yeah, this is just kind of like is it kind of like reductionism?
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a psychological warfare, if you like, that I remember they used in Nazi Germany. By dehumanizing the Jews, it made it easier to allow people to enable their killing, essentially.
And this is something that's done in all war. In fact,
Yeah.
wasn't just the Jews and the Nazis.
That's just
There
the
was-
one that came to mind.
Yeah, in warfare, the idea is to dehumanize the enemy.
yeah.
Makes it easier to kill them. Same thing.
Do you really like your job?
I sure do.
Yeah.
Butchery to me is a skill, like a craft. And every time I get to cut something, every pig, I feel like I can get better at it.
Again,
Oh my god, this is so bad.
they're not some things, they're some ones.
Why would you want to get?
Individuals.
Why would you want to get better at cutting up a murdered body? I just want to break this down for what she's actually saying. Every time I get to cut, I get better at doing this. What?
It's-
Replace the pig or the cow for a dog or a cat. Please do that and think about this again. Oh, I'm going to need a holiday after this video.
I will say that there are parts of it that are difficult, and there are moments where I'm like, I'm so tired, and it's been such a long day, and that meat is so heavy. But it's still, ultimately, like, I'm still very happy to be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is one of my pet hates
champion,
when the
Christina.
industry plays the victim. As soon as the industry plays the victim, and sure, she's just doing it in a very jovial kind of way in this instance, but as soon as the industry plays the victim, it takes the emphasis away from the real victims, the animals, who have actually had their lives stolen from them and have been brutally murdered.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
So now Christina is receiving the gratitude and the praise and the stamp of approval from the children. So all is well that ends well. It's really...
Hi, I'm Christina. Thanks for watching Kids Meet a Butcher. If you want to learn more about me, check for a link down below.
In fact, if you want to learn more about the real facts behind meat, including the middle step that Christina's not showing you and not showing on the links that she's linking there, check out the links below in our description.
Video. That's right. So, that's the end of our response.
Oh, mind blown.
Braced yourself.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the
Exhausted.
comments below. Did this dangerous and sadistic and destructive video annoy you like it has annoyed us and
It's just
blown your mind?
It's a mind fire truck. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but it's a mind fire truck that this is actually allowed on the internet, on YouTube, speaking to kids, and just this normalization and trivialization
Of murder.
Okay, if you are going to leave a comment for Christina or going over to her page or this video or whatnot, please don't leave any hate for her. Instead, let's leave some education for Christina, showing her perhaps the reality of what happens to animals in the slaughterhouse. You can link videos. You can perhaps link the Humane Lie website. We will put a whole lot of resources down below, as Lucas said. So let's share those helpful educational resources with Christina and people watching this video instead of hate.
Yeah, let's put them in the comments section of the HiHo Kids
Yes.
video. Give the video a like, share it around to raise awareness, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Yes, and make sure you click that notifications bell so that you're made aware every time we upload a new video.
And remember until next time that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye everyone.